plastic piece. We're gonna go over what these are for in a later section in the ID transpose section. Now, before we start putting all your stuff in the wallet, let me show you the features of the wallet, the magic features of the wallet, so you can see how they work. So right here where your ID goes, you'll notice that that also opens, and you have a section on one side and another section on the other side. This is where you're gonna be getting your peak. Also, the opening for your credit card on the back, the top opening actually goes inside of your zipper compartment. So that's the section from which you're going to be doing the card to wallet or any of the other routines in the video. It's going to be coming in through this side. Now that you know basically how the wallet works, quote unquote, let's put all our things together inside. Let's start with your ID. You're going to have a natural tendency to want to put your ID from the top because all the openings are from the top. But we specifically put the opening for your ID on the opposite side so that it would never interfere whenever you're working on your peak. So we're going to open up your side where you get your peak. You're going to open it up, and then you'll notice that there's an opening at the bottom where the clear plastic is. That's where you want to input your ID. So that's going to go there. That way, now whenever we put any business card into the peak section of the wallet, it will never interfere, or it won't by mistake go into your ID. Of course, we'll continue on by placing your cards in the other sections. Now, when you're going to put your card in the bottommost section, the one that's closest to your ID, you want to make sure that it's going below the clear acetate on top. Okay, so if you want, you can just open it up like this, and then the only place in which you can place that card will be in the bottommost credit card slot. You're then going to put your other cards inside, in the topmost, and in the one all the way at the top. So there we go. We can close that up. Now we'll turn it over, and then you can place any other card or multiple cards back there. Now I do want to mention, since I just said multiple cards, this back pocket here has a little bit more give than the ones in the front. So you can actually put multiple cards in this back pocket. I do want to point out, when you first start using your wallet and you start putting in your credit card, it might feel a little bit tight. But that's normal. Leather is supposed to feel tight like that, and over time it's going to loosen up and you're going to be able to put your card in and out very easily. So let's talk about your money. Where does your money go? And there's actually many different places in which you can put your money. I like to have the money, since I barely ever carry money with me, I like to have it in this side pocket here. Okay, that's usually where I put it, and it's very easily accessible. But you can very well also place it inside of the zipper compartment. Now you can just place all of your money there, close it up, and you have your money safe and sound. Now, some of you might be worried that your money maybe can come out because there is an opening up here, but I've never had it come out or even attempt to slightly come out. Just in case, for those of you who are worried, my recommendation would be to keep the openings of the bill, so the parts that you can flick through, towards also the opening of your card to wallet. Okay, that way it's going to be much harder for the bills to come out. The next section in which you can put your bills is also on the other side of the wallet, underneath the clip. So you can place your money right underneath the clip, and that's going, let me make them nice and neat, and they're going to be right there. Now, of course, you can have the clip facing with the elastic up or the elastic face down. And then your bills are going to be able to be right there, safe and sound. One thing I want to point out is that when we were designing the wallet, we thought about using the magnetic clasp money clip. The only downside is that the more bills you have, the weaker and more likely you are of losing your valuable money. So that's why we went with the clip. It also lets us do a few extra things, but technically the more bills you put, the stronger and the more secure your money becomes. If you, for whatever reason, you only want to carry a single bill, so then you can also do that. All you have to do is take the bill out and put a little pressure down. All you're doing is making sure that the clip is as closed as possible. Once you've pressed down your clip and you know that it's flat and tight, you can place it in the wallet. And then if you want to put just the single bill, it's going to be able to hold it there also very, very tightly. Another option for you, if you'd like, if you don't carry many bills, you can just take whatever bills you have and fold them one more time and then place those on your elastic like so. Now, you don't just have to put bills underneath the clip like this. You can also have, imagine these are credit cards. You have extra credit cards that you want to carry with you. You can place those extra credit cards underneath. Then you can have your business cards right in this elastic like this. You can also take extra credit cards that you may have and place those extra credit cards inside of this pocket here. Basically, we just wanted to make sure that you could really use this wallet as your everyday wallet. If you have tons of credit cards, tons of cash, a bunch of business cards, we wanted you to be able to carry everything with you without hindering the functions of the peak and the card to wallet and the out to lunch principle. We also want to mention that you don't have to have your clip and your wallet together at all times. You can separate them and you'll still have all the features on your wallet except the out to lunch feature. You can take your business cards and place them in the lowermost pocket there, and then that's it. You'll have all of your features going on in your wallet and you have a much smaller profile. And also, aside from magic, let's say you're going to go bike riding and you don't want to take the full wallet with you. You just want to take the most important documents or just a few, some money, some cash. You can just take that and use the clip on its own. Now, keep in mind you won't have the card to wallet, you won't have the peak feature, but you will have whichever valuables you want with you. And you can even add the business cards on the back with the elastic, and now you'll have the out to lunch principle that you can use. So once again, you don't have to think of the wallet and the clip combined as one. You can separate them and use the features separately as you see fit. Now that you know the basic functions of your wallet, you know where all of your items go, you know how to set it up as your everyday wallet, let's get into the peaking functions of this wallet. We're going to go over multiple ways in which you can get your peak, as well as how to make it completely natural. I'm so excited about this. Let's start talking about the peaks. Okay, and just in case if you don't know what a peak is, I'll demonstrate one for you, and that's you just give a card to one of your spectators and they will secretly write or draw anything on that card. Now, you don't know what they drew, so they're keeping that a secret from you, and you can have them or you place it yourself right there with your ID. Then when it comes time for you to draw something, you've already peaked their information. So I just took a peek at 100% of what they drew. Okay, so let's go over how that works and how you can also accomplish this. So it's very, very simple. As you already know, the wallet does open almost like a book right here, and it closes via magnets. So all we're going to do is we're going to first condition the movement to the spectator. So the first thing we're going to do is condition the movement that we want to pretty much erase from their minds that you ever did. And the way we're going to do that is by just naturally taking one of your business cards from your clip. Okay, so if you have your business cards on the clip and you have your wallet in your right hand, when you turn the wallet over to naturally grab the business card, you're in the same position that you need to be in to get your peak. Okay, so you're going to hand them the card. Now, when they place the card inside, If you notice on your wallet, if we take a look right here, you'll see that this flap that opens has a little lip, a protrusion that comes ever so slightly forward away from the leather right here. Let's take a look at the lip that's letting you insert the business card very easily into that section there. As you can see, it's protruding by about 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters off of the leather. And if you have it land flat against the wallet, you'll notice that that lip perfectly matches and it lands flush with the bottommost credit card slot. That is so that it's hidden once it's closed. Now, that lip is there also so that you can very easily insert the card into your peeking section. On top of that, it will also help you insert the card without you even having to look. So you can insert the card by feel alone. And the way you're going to do that is by holding the business card in your opposite hand, so in my left hand in this case, and I'm going to place the lowermost corner that you see there against the leather side of the topmost ID section, right there. Now, all I need to do really is just slide it slightly forward, and I'm going to feel a click. That click, you can probably hear it like this, will let you know that you can now insert the card and it's going to go straight into that section. So if we want to try it again without looking, it just goes like that and you can easily insert it into that section like that. So that's what that lip is there for. It's just to make your life a lot easier during performance. One more thing I want to mention about the lip is that it's also there to create the illusion that it's the same spot in which you put in your ID. So your spectators are going to believe that that's the same section in which you put in your ID. Now, both you and I know that that's where you're going to be getting your peak. And now we're going to get into how you actually get your peak. So as you remembered, we naturally went to grab a card. So we're going to follow that same movement. We're going to do the same motion again, which we have already preconditioned our spectators for that movement. And we're going to do it again, but this time we're going to do something slightly different, and that's going to let us take a 100% peek of whatever it is they wrote or drew on the card. Okay, so just for now, imagine that the spectator is right here in front of me. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Imagine the hand is coming over, it grabs the card, and that's it. Okay, now with the hand there, you're here, you get the peek. Look, I'm taking a peek at it. We take it out, and then that's it. We're set. That's how quick the peek is. You'll also notice the angles for this are really, really good. Here, if it's opened here, we know for a fact that anybody in front of us will not be able to see. Also, anybody to our right will not be able to see. And I'll turn around so you can see exactly what I mean. Right here, you can't see it. Anybody from my right side is not going to be able to see it. So the angles are incredibly good. And then because you have to grab that card, this hand is also going to be covering the angles on your left. So you're pretty much completely covered. If you want to be even more covered, you just bring your hands closer to your body, and that's going to let even more people be even close to you on both sides because you have complete control of what can be seen from all angles. All right? So once again, you're going to be using your thumb to open up the wallet. Now, it's also important how you use the thumb, because then you can make this really, really obvious. For instance, if you were to take the tip of your thumb and open it like that, it becomes really obvious. You can clearly see that the thumb is doing something. The thumb is moving for some reason. Your spectators won't know why, but we want to make this as invisible as possible. And so in order to do that, if you take the side of your thumb, not the tip of your thumb, but you take just the side of your thumb and you place that against the side of your gimmick right on this top section here. If you place that there, you use that part of the thumb to open it up. As you can see, your thumb is straight. So the thumb is always straight. It never bends. If you start bending the thumb, it looks like there's some movement and there's some sort of awkwardness that's going to happen. And we want to hide all of that. So remember, thumb goes straight. It goes on the side right here. And we're going to use that to pry the gimmick open. Okay? Now, to close it, it's the same thing. We don't want to close it in a rush or by bending the thumb. So really the way I like to think about it is I imagine with my fingers here very lightly, I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure, and that's going to, look, the thumb doesn't move. All I'm doing is applying a little bit of pressure in those fingers, and it just closes it, okay? If you combine that with bringing the thumb down on top, it appears as if there's no movement. So here, it's opened, and now when we close it, the thumb, it appears that it stays in the same spot. Let's take a look at what it looks like from the magician's point of view. So we're here, and we're just going to turn around. We get our peak as we close everything. Once again, from the magician's perspective, we're going to have our thumb where it needs to be, and as the hand turns over, we're going to open it up. We get our peak as we take our card, and then we close it up as we bring our attention to the card here. And then one more time at speed, it would look something like this, and that's it. Now, as we know, the bigger action is going to cover the smaller action. The bigger action is turning the wallet over. That's our big action, which is actually very small. And then the small action is just opening up the flap and closing it, okay? Of course, the thumb is remaining straight, but there is a slight little movement, and it's just going from here to there and then back. But we're never bending it. Okay, now this is what it would look like here. Now let's combine both movements, the bigger action with the smaller action, and then we'll see what that looks like. It should look almost invisible. So let's see that now. We're here, we're going to get our peak, and then we're going to move back. Okay, so that's basically what it should look like. And I also want to point out the angle in which you want to turn your hand, okay? So if you turn your hand very naturally, if you just look at your hand and turn it over, that's the angle that you want to use. Also, you're going to get your best peak when your hand is perfectly straight, as if you were holding, let's say, a gun, okay? So when you're here, your hand turns. This is where I can get 100% of my peak. One more thing I want to talk about before we move on to the next peak is the angle or the timing in which you want to open this. Because if you open it here, it's way too soon, and that's not a very impressive trick. They will know exactly what it is that you're doing. So what you want to do is wait until this credit card or this side of your wallet here on the other side is facing them. Once you know that they can see that section of the wallet, that's the time that you want to open up the gimmick. That's going to ensure that they never see the gimmick opening at any time. Okay, so just ensure this is facing them by the time you start opening your gimmick, and you should do it in one continuous move. So you don't just wait there and then open. It should be here and it starts to open. Okay, so one fluid motion will open up your peak. Now let's talk about how you can do this same exact peak without using the clip, which is very, very simple. We're just going to remove the clip. We'll take the cards and place them in the bottommost credit card slot right there. And now everything is exactly the same. So whenever you want to get your peak, you come over, you can open it up just like I am there. We'll take it out. Now it's important also to know where your attention goes, right? So everything has to be motivated. There's a reason why you're looking at the wallet. And the reason you're looking at the wallet is because you're grabbing that card, right? Now, you want to also bring the attention to the card because this is not important at all. So whenever we're doing, whether we're using the clip or without the clip, you always want to know what's your motivation for getting the peak. And that goes for any peak, not just this wallet, it also goes for any wallet you may have. Once we turn this over, we know that we're getting the card, and because we know we're getting the card, this is our focus point, this is what we care about, and this is not as important anymore, so we can put it aside. All right, so Once we get the peak and we have it, our attention comes here. It doesn't matter what happens to this now. You don't have to take out a business card. You can take anything that you want. It could be a dollar bill. It's basically going to come down to whatever routine you're doing. So maybe you could take a card that has the hypnosis little swirlies, and then you're using that to hypnotize them and get the information like that. Or in whichever way you want, you can take money and you're gonna be doing a bet, or you're gonna bet anything. I'm just kind of leaving it open so that you know that you don't have to, your motivation doesn't have to grab a business card. It could be to grab a playing card, money, the hypnosis card, a pocket watch, and then you hypnotize them. It could be absolutely anything that you want. So now that you know the basics of the peak, let's get into all the other peaks that we have waiting for you. Now that we have taken a look at the basic peak, whether you're using the clip or without the clip, let's go over a few different ways in which you can also obtain your peak. So for instance, in this one is going to be as you put the wallet in your top jacket pocket. The reason we wanted to include this is because you might be used to getting your peak as you put the wallet in your top pocket. So let's take a look at what that looks like now. Once again, we'll have the drawing.